Hey everyone, Mr. Newman here. Today we're going to do a video on the topic we've already done, but it's using this word consecutive that I've shared with some of you guys, but not everyone. So first of all, there's no back to the sheet. I already hear some people cheering, but let's get right to it because it'll be a short video if we do. Consecutive means one right after the other. Okay, let me share with you a few examples to get what you mean. Okay, to get what I mean. For example, if we've got 5 consecutive numbers, that means each number is right after the next one. So consecutive would be, if we're starting with 10, we have 10, then the next one is 11, that's right after 10. And then the next one is 12, then the next one is 13 and 14, and so on until we have got 5 numbers. Well, this question asked, what is their sum? Sum is the word for adding them all together. So we're going to add 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14, and when you do that, you get 60. Okay. So that's nice. What if we have consecutive odd numbers? We can't go one right after the other, right? You have to skip one because you can't have 10 now. It's odd that we need to have. So if we start with 9, the very next odd number, the next consecutive odd number is 11. And after that, the next consecutive odd number is 13. So do you see how these are consecutive even though they're odd? You're not adding one each time, you're actually going up by, in this case we're going up by 2 each time, but we're just hitting every odd number starting with 9. All right, what is their sum? That means we add those together. When you add all those together, you get 48. Okay, so that's not too bad, but here's where it gets interesting. For this next problem, I'm not going to tell you what the first number is. Instead, we have to figure it out. Now, you could use guess and check on this, and I'm sure some people are already trying it in their mind. That's just fine. That's just fine, except when I ask you to write an equation based on the situation, then you want to be able to do this, okay? So we have 3 consecutive numbers whose sum is 24. What is the first number? Well, I don't know what the first number is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a variable. And remember, you always want to define your variable. X is the first number, okay? You can pick any letter you want, but X works here. That's the first number. If X is the first number, then we're going to have X be the first number, then the next number is X plus 1, right? Just like if 10 is the first number and 11 is the next number, you say 10 plus 1 is the next number, 11. If 105 was the first number, you add 1, and 106 would be the next consecutive number. Notice we're not dealing with even or odd numbers yet. These are just consecutive numbers. So the first number plus 1 makes the next number. What makes the third number in the set? Well, that'd be X plus 2. Because, for example, if you have 10, 11, and 12, 12 is the first number plus 2. That's X is the first number, so 10 plus 2 is 12. X plus 2 is the third number here. Well, it's asking for the sum, and the sum is 24. So that means I add each of these together, X plus 1 plus X plus 2. All of that has to be 24. And now we've got an equation that you guys can use your skills to solve. So let's combine like terms. We have 3x when we add all the x's together. 1 plus 2 is 3, and the right side is still 24. Let me move this on up here. And now we're going to isolate or get x by itself, subtract 3 from both sides, and then divide by 3, and you get x equals 7. Well, let's not just sit on that. Let's make sure and check our work. One good thing about this is it checks to make sure we read the problem correctly. So if x is 7, that means that's the first number. Well, let's try it out. If 7 is the first number, the next number must be 8, and the next number must be 9. And we want the sum to be 24. When you add those 3 together, you get 24, so check. We got that one correct. All right, let me show you how to do one more, and then I'll let you try the last one on your own. Here, the only difference, other than the number changing to 33, is that we have consecutive odd numbers. So again, what's the first number? Well, let's define our variable as X is the first number. Always write down what your variable is until we define it. So X is the first number. All right. Well, we need to think about what's the next number going to be. Let me give a concrete example, okay? Let's say we had 5. It was the first number, and this is not the correct answer, but I'm just giving you an example. If 5 was the first number and we had consecutive odd numbers, 7 would be the next one, and 9 would be the third. So how do we get from 5 to 7 using the first number? Well, we added 2, right? So if plus 2 to the first number gives you the next odd number, when you're counting odd numbers, then that means that x plus 2 must be the next odd number. Whatever x is, as long as you plug in an odd number, if you do plus 2 to that, you're going to get the next odd number. A big mistake people make here is they say, all right, well, from 7 to 9, that's 2 more. But remember, we're not starting with 7. X is not 7, the second number. X is the first number. So instead of doing plus 2, we need to look at, all right, how do you get from 5 to 9? And that's doing plus 4. So the very next number over here is going to be x plus 4. I don't care what odd number you choose, as long as you choose an odd number, plus 2 will be the next number, and plus 4 will be the number after that. Okay, now, we just need to put all these together, so sum them all together to get 33. And when we do that, we have an equation. We can combine like terms, we get that. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put that up there. We're solving for x, and lastly, we divide by 3, and we get x equals 9. Again, let's not just check, let's not just hope that we have the right answer. Let's check. If 9 is the first odd number, the next odd number would be 11 if they're consecutive. Notice how that's plus 2 to 9. The next number after that would be 13, and notice how that's plus 4 to 9. Well, if you add 9, 11, and 13 all together, do we get 33? We do, so check. We got that one correct. All right, try this last one on your own. Notice the big difference is that we're dealing with even numbers. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.